You are now entering the Honeysuckle podcast.
So, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, let's start with you and your background. You are based in Nevada now.
No. So we used to live in Las Vegas for, like 8 years or so, but home based or where we're born and primarily raised is Los Angeles area. So Los Angeles.
Oh, you're back in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, yeah. So I know we have our 702 numbers, we just kind of never gave them up. But that's where Anthony finished at UNLV getting his bachelor's, and then we moved to San Diego. And there you have it. But we've gone to high school and college in LA. So this is home for us. So
Gotcha. And okay, so you are obviously the CEO of 40 Tons and a co-founder of the career fair.
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Careers.
Which is amazing. We were at the Trenton one, which was like so unique and cool.
Yeah. Oh let me ask you, Roni, how did you like the event? And what were some highlights that interest you, or that you felt
Yeah.
helpful in what you're doing?
I mean, I thought that it was like very impactful, like truly kind of boots on the ground. Like there was a barber there, there were giving suits away, right?
Wardrobe. Yeah.
Yeah, so many things. And like you brought together the community. I mean, as we know, there's so many different shows and expos and things like that I really felt that yours was like intimate, authentic, like everyone seemed very happy.
Yeah, we had a great turnout. I mean, as you recall, I think the line was like whipped around the block for people waiting to get in to see what we had to offer for that community in Trenton, New Jersey. So yeah, that was another epic win for 40 Tons Careers for sure on the East Coast.
Well, so tell me, let's start with your background a little bit, like how you guys started 40 Tons and like the background between you and Anthony.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit of background about 40 Tons. People probably know us as this social impact cannabis brand. And yeah, we have, amazing products and flower and gummies and all that out on market now, but we knew that that wasn't enough. Everybody everybody on our team for 40 Tons is system impacted in some shape or way, right? So myself, co-founder, CEO, I was the woman left behind when, Anthony, my husband, had to go and serve time 3 times, 3 separate occasions for nonviolent cannabis offenses, leaving me to raise the 3 children and hold the fort down and be mom and dad for years and years and years. And then our third co-founder, Corvain Cooper, Anthony and him were on the same case. Anthony got sentenced according to the federal guidelines, and Corvain ended up getting life without the possibility of parole. This was infuriating to me, knowing that these 2 men were on the same exact case, same indictment. They were caught selling marijuana without a license. And for Corvain to get this life sentence, this infuriation, turned me into this advocate, this crusader, if you will, for justice for Corvain, our families. We're all victims of the war on drugs, all of this. So fast forward about a decade later, we championed behind the scenes with Congress, legislation, other organizations that helped us amplify Corvain's message, our message. And then we got the winning lotto ticket when Trump's last day in office, he signed for Corvain Cooper's clemency. similar to the movies. We got the call in the wee hours, and that does exist, by the way. We got the call to go and pick Corvain Cooper up from federal prison, and we've been going on the ground ever since. So back to what I was saying, we didn't just stop at having a great cannabis brand and providing premium flower and products to consumers. We knew we had to do a little bit more to help the folks that are still currently incarcerated for nonviolent cannabis offenses, in addition to those that are coming out of, not the best situation, really trying to set them up for success. And here was the birth of 40 Tons Careers. We kind of stand by our 6 E's, which we like to call them when we do our career conferences, and which are employment, expungement, education, engagement, empowerment, and let's not forget entertainment, right? So standing on those 6 pillars have been pivotal in what we have accomplished so far and what we will accomplish in the future. So this requires many resources from all walks of life, pulling everybody in together so that we can make our mission possible.
So how do you contact and like communicate with people on the inside? How do you reach them and like know who they are?
It really helped that Corvain did almost a decade. So he had a lot of people that he knew that wanted 40 Tons to help amplify their message. And on our website, 40tons.co, you can see the dozen prisoners that we're currently advocating for. So it's a bit of a process. They have to let us know what their case is, what their charges are, and if they fit certain criterias, so far we've been, I don't want to call it luck, Ronit. I want to just call it just blessed. And then everybody that we know kind of sharing the story and amplifying that message to where we have one more former prisoner that was released about 90 days ago now that we were advocating for, Luke Scarmazzo. So he is home now. And he was one of our guys that we were definitely rooting for, that, laws would change, things would be different for him. And so they have, and they are. So we're super excited about that.
Wow. Congratulations to Lou and you guys. So what are some of the criterion that like qualify people to work with you who are incarcerated?
Yeah, so the criteria would be having a nonviolent cannabis offense, in the past 10 to 20 years, right? No other violent criminal history should be, involved, and having that strong will to still want to be in the industry once you come home, and just wanting to be an advocate and join forces. And like I like to call it, hook on your caboose to the 40 Tons train. And, let's do this good work all together. So being strong-willed, having the ability to pivot with us, so those are some of the qualifications for someone to have 40 Tons look at them and to help.
And you guys work with attorneys? Is that how it works? Like in terms of?
Yeah, so there are, you have to get legal team representation. Most of them do come with counsel. So it's just kind of plugging in with our current ecosystem and their attorney to kind of see where they're at, what level the case is, where we can kind of push their message even further. And then sometimes we've scheduled calls with our prisoners when we can be in the middle of an event, so that is extremely helpful. And we've done that. And boy, our voices get magnified when we're able to speak with that prisoner, and we are all, at an event consuming, and this person has actually been, is in jail for something that we are openly consuming and benefiting from. So it makes people stop in their tracks and say, how can I help? What can I do? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I guess like for me in reality, the criminal justice system and like prison industrial it's so fucked, right? For lack of a better word. And the people you work with that get out are lucky, like you said, or blessed, but there's so many who don't. And I just wonder sort of what your thoughts are in this whole mumble jumble. It's like a crapshoot, right? Like Kevin Allen, what is it, hard labor?
I know it is. And actually, Parker Coleman, another person that we're advocating for on our website, you can see to try to help support him. I think it's really, wait, say the question again, because I kind of got.
Like your opinion in terms of like the crapshoot, like some people in prison are forgotten. They literally end up serving all their time or spending their life. And some people get out. So like, what's your perspective on like creating order out of chaos, or like why some get out and some don't? And then I'll ask a couple more questions after that.
I know just on Corvin and Anthony's case, there was like 100 people in the indictment. And so some of them, we kind of have a little more intimate relationship. So we're kind of able to reach out and touch them, so to speak, a little bit more easier. So that may be a factor. But I also think, in my opinion, you kind of got to do what you can within your bandwidth. So for example, I do Can of Christmas, which is the 40 Tons Foundation, which we do, hosting, party, all that. But we have an activation there where I have a book of nonviolent cannabis offenders, and I have a picture, I have a little bio of them, and then their address to write them letters, because like you said, they are forgotten, and if somebody can stop and just write a couple of sentences on a sheet of paper, to drop a line to someone that says, hey, I'm thinking about you, happy holidays, hope you, whatever those lines are. This mail is like liquid gold to, prisoners in jail, so I think everyone doing their small little part of taking the time to write a letter, dropping off a postcard. I mean, what is that taking you? 10 minutes of your time and 60 cents for a stamp? It's nothing, right? When you go out and spend $5 on Starbucks. Doing whatever you can within your wheelhouse to better that person's situation, signing petitions on change.org costs you nothing, a couple of clicks, right? Just being aware of someone else's suffering and seeing how you can help them in whatever way that looks like, whether you have tons of money or no money. There's ways for everybody to get involved.
Right. And so, like we were saying in the beginning, like another half of or part of the work that you do is after people get out. Like I don't think people realize like how hard reentry is, and
it's tough. Our first conference, we called it Can I Get a Second Chance? We're really gearing up to those folks that just got released, so we offered services like free haircuts and wardrobes and expungement clinics and wraparound services to really help those individuals get a leg up as they just got released, right? So trying to get one's record expunged can be a very long process, for some, if they have a more in-depth rap sheet, if you will. But at least giving them the tools and resources that are available for them to execute that's something that we knew was really important to help with recidivism.
And how do you like help keep people's spirits up? Is the depression rate pretty high when people are going through this?
Oh, yes. When they're going to prison or when they get out?
Get out, like the reentry process. I'm sure they're happy on one end, but on the other end,
they have a lot of, anxiety, PTSD, just being around large groups can be very, very difficult, and maybe they did lighter part of a decade or even longer. So now you have someone who is used to handwriting a application to where now there's a digital platform. Now you need a username and password, like, so that's when we partner with other organizations who help with those giving those transferable skills to that person, letting them know how they should be presenting their resumes, really helpful tools for them to succeed. Offering counseling and therapy sessions. We partner with some organizations that, will give those counseling sessions because it's needed. It's like a mind trip, if you will, when someone comes out of prison and they've been there for a really long time and the world has changed and they haven't, and they need to adapt, and they have all these requirements placed upon them, right? They get released, they're on parole or probation, and they have tons of restrictions, from the time that they can be out looking for work, the stress of actually gaining that employment, and their backgrounds, right? So all of these things are tied in together when one gets out of prison, that 40 Tons Careers is helping them overcome those hurdles.
Now, aside from 40 Tons, how do you feel the industry is doing as a whole in terms of addressing incarceration for nonviolent cannabis offenses and also for reentry?
Oh, okay. That's a tough one, Ronit. Okay. I think the industry is aware of the incarceration. I don't know if they are aware that it's predominantly Black and brown people of color that are in jail for nonviolent cannabis offenses, but I think there are certain brands, certain organizations that care a little bit more and that have aligned their missions with 40 Tons to know that we are boots on the ground doing the work that they know need to be done, and they're helping, whether it's sponsorships or opportunities or just email introduction, whatever that looks like to get the ball going. I think we have in the industry, people have started off really well and started off strong. And, I'm hopeful that things will pick up and be a little bit better, because we all can do better.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to me about like race and racism in the prison industrial complex as you've experienced it.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard the statistics, but
okay. I can speak firsthand how the racism affected myself, my children, my family. When Anthony went to prison, oftentimes I was not able to visit. Anthony and I are a interracial couple, and because racism is running rampant in all prisons, I was not allowed to visit. The children could visit, but it had to be with his mother, right? So that was really difficult. Just knowing that racism is alive and kicking still in prison was baffling to me, but it is real. Like I don't want to call it abuse, but the fear of being retaliated against because you are with a different race, married, or whatever that looks like, and for fear that you would get attacked, for doing that is frightening. It's scary. It's unbelievable. But let me tell you, it absolutely is a real thing that I had to deal with for many years. So yeah, it's still there.
And how about the rate of incarceration in terms of people of color versus?
Oh my gosh. About 80-90% of nonviolent cannabis offenders, most of them are people of color, so it's unfortunate that, they're the victim of the war on drugs. And, it takes work like what 40 Tons is doing. It takes work like what Honeysuckle is doing to just amplify these unjust things that have happened to Black and Brown folks and try to correct them or at least shed light on them. So it's super important that we continue that.
And you guys selected Juneteenth for the next fair?
Yes, we did. Such a pivotal day, right? I am feeling super lucky, excited that everything kind of fell into place as we chose Chicago as our next city to help that community. And Juneteenth, June 19th, pivotal, like I said, for people of color. That day means a great deal to myself, and I know people that look like me, it means a great deal. And we will be hosting at Malcolm X Event Center, Malcolm X College there in Chicago on Juneteenth from 9 to 5:30. Just in our traditional 40 tons capacity. We have tons of sponsors. Participants, need to come out and experience this. As you know, it's experiential, that what we do for that community. And we've got, keynote speakers. We've got a Congressman Davis, that'll be joining us. Wow, the sponsors that we have, Ronit, are like, we have Ascend, who will be there, the Illinois Coalition, United Center, which is a huge stadium. They hold 23,000 seats. So they will be there. Engine Sciences will be there. Marijuana Matters law firms. And last but definitely not least, the organization, the company that believed in 40 Tons Careers, that we can bring it to Chicago, is Good Green Industries. So they are a title sponsor powered by them for this career conference. So we are super thrilled that they believed in us and our mission. And, they're one of the larger, MSOs that see us doing the work, want to align with what we're doing. And we are super grateful for them. Good Green Initiative.
And how do you guys address ownership? Just being that the majority of the workforce is made up of workers, and then you guys are helping people get into like C-suite positions and
it's from entry level to mid-level, C-suite, and executives. This event is for any and everybody, whether you're trying to get back into the workforce, or you're trying to pivot and change what you're currently doing to something else, or you just need education opportunities. We have workshops, Grow with Google, a workshop, Illinois' new cannabis licensees. We're having informational workshops for them as well. Tons of knowledge and information. Khadijah Triple from Marijuana Matters, former VP of a huge MSO. And so these are industry leaders in both fields, cannabis and non-cannabis businesses, so that all need to hire diverse talent. And so we are filling that void for all of our exhibitors and doing a great deed as well.
So Khadijah is a keynote, right?
Oh, she is. Khadijah Triple is a keynote speaker. Yes, she is.
She's amazing. I love her.
Right.
What is she going to be talking about?
She's going to be talking about breaking the glass ceiling. As we know, she's done more than once. So, stay tuned for that, and how how we take, that conversation will probably morph into something else as, they open it up for questions and things like that. But you're right. She's going to blow the roof off the place for sure.
Woohoo! Is this your third event?
Oh no, Ronit. This
fair.
Oh no, it's more. So this one is going to be our 6th event.
Wow.
I know. I know.
When was the first one and where? Like, walk me through the.
Yes, so our first one was in Hawthorne, California. The second one was in Oakland, so Bay Area. And then we went to New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, then back to LA, and then Jersey City, Jersey, where we partner with the African American Chamber of Commerce on that event.
Right. Amazing. And so you've scaled each one.
Yes, can you believe it? I mean, we started off in, kind of a rec room, a dozen or so exhibitors, and it has grown and morphed. And as you were at the Trenton, New Jersey one, it is just organically grown, and I couldn't be more thrilled about the turnout of events and all of the great things that people have said and continue to say. I mean, I get emails saying like, I saw you guys in Trenton. I want you to come to my city. Please come, so all the time we're like, okay, all right, let's get some logistics going. Let's see what we can really do. So who knows what's up next, what city after we accomplish these other ones. So
you don't know yet.
Oh yeah, we'll come back to West Coast and do one, and then New York City will be next.
Yeah, that's a great.
So then after those, we'll see where we land.
Yeah. What about Baltimore? I wonder what it's like there. I don't know why that.
You know what? I think we did get an invitation to do one in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah. As they, come online and change some things and, statewide. So we'll see. That may be a good one. You're putting it out there, Ronit. It might come true.
I'll send you little messages weekly. I'm sure you get a million of them.
Yeah, my inbox is crazy. Oh man.
Yours is. How do you keep up? Because I know personally, like sometimes my brain's just like, meh.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I have 3 separate emails that I'm having to check, like 2 personal, 1 business, and it is wild. I tickled with the thought of getting an assistant to help me with that, but then I have to sit down and tell that person. So now what I do is I just take like 1 to 2 hours every single day and try to at least clean up the junk mail, right? So then I'm just keeping the really important emails and getting rid of that other stuff. So.
And you have 3 kids.
Yes, I do. 3 kids and 3 dogs and traveling and juggling act that I perform every day, all day. But this work is so fulfilling that I can't stop. I can't get enough. There's, over 40,000 nonviolent cannabis offenders currently sitting in jail. And I have to do my part. Like I'm compelled to do my part. So I will keep going and, grateful for people like yourself and, Honeysuckle, the magazine that continues to lend your support to us and be supportive, to the industry,
Yeah. And I mean, you've stated the obvious reasons why 40 Tons and 40 Tons Career Fair is uniquely sort of situated to be the perfect platform for these fairs and as an advocacy group. Why do you think you guys, sort of would stand out, say, as opposed to some of the other groups trying to do things?
How we stand out? I think we are just a little bit different to where we're interesting and people want to know more. Larger companies, smaller ones, they want to learn more. And how are we able to get access to, the prisoners or, access to CEOs and directors of, these amazing companies. And they see that we are in it for the long haul. They see that this is hard work, right? They see that they want to have a place in what we're doing. And so they're willing to, lend a helping hand in helping us execute. I just think that we're just a little bit different, and it just makes people want to say, what are they doing over there? Let me see.
Yeah. Plus, like, your kind of day-to-day boots on the ground, firsthand experience with incarceration and also like outreach. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, and like starting off, like, thinking back early on when Anthony was going through all of the jail terms, I just thought, I hate cannabis. God, like this is torn my family apart again and again and again, right? But then I think now that maybe the powers that be said I had to go through this so that I can help the next Loriel see that, her story, her struggle can actually help somebody and change someone's life. And I had to go through those rough times to get here today, to have just a more clear, concise path on what I needed to do and who I needed to align my missions with to help me succeed.
So what are some of the highlights or things that people can look forward to this year's event in Chicago?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful event space. Like I mentioned before, Malcolm X College. It is like a museum / college. Let me tell you, they've got all of the memorabilia there from Malcolm X and his whole mission, right? For racism and all of that, detailing his whole life, right? So you have that beautiful space. The exhibitors that are coming this time, they are excited to be there. Chicago hasn't had anything like this since they became legal for cannabis. We are opening this event to both cannabis businesses and non-cannabis businesses. So this will be the first time we are merging both of our worlds together, and it is exciting. So participants can look forward to workshops and networking and entertainment, because we'll definitely have a network mixer afterwards. For the typical Chicago theme that they're known for. So I think anyone who is weathering on, I don't think I want to come, I'm telling you, definitely want to come, because this is going to be a day for you to absolutely remember, and being able to see what type of jobs are out there and careers are out there, and being able to speak with people who want to hire diverse talent. I know a lot of times you're sending emails back and forth and you get no response, or you get put into this portal for your resume, and then no one ever calls you back. Well, this is your chance to get in front of those hiring managers and actually speak with them and be able to shine and show them what you have to offer, and see, how they can further your mission.
Love that. So, how do people find you? There's obviously like several reasons why a person would reach out to you, either to sponsor, to, connect with inmates, to learn more about advocacy, to support 40 Tons. So what are the best ways to reach you guys?
Okay, the best ways to reach us is just visit us at our website, 40tons.co, and then you can get a more robust feel of everything that we're doing, whether it's the next career conference or employment, or you want to support a prisoner via the Prisoner Give Back program that's on there, or you want to participate in the 40 Tons Foundation, whatever that looks like, that's going to be the central hub, our website. And then there's other links that'll take you down other avenues depending on what you're actually looking for.
And I guess our last question, before I ask if you want to add anything, is kind of like, how did you guys conceive of this idea for the 40 Tons career fair?
Okay. I think it was after we accomplished getting our products in dispensaries, we were like, what's next? Like, this isn't enough. Like, we have to be more impactful. We have to be, more willing to do things outside of the box, right? And so we thought, what would be the best way to help the individual coming out of prison or the individual just wanting to change gears in their life. And we thought a career, a job, right?
Mhm.
But we knew we couldn't just be this boring career fair. We knew we had to up the ante because we're 40 tons, right? And so we just all started giving our ideas of how to make this bigger and better for the community that we were going to be reaching. And so it was just a collective of myself, Anthony Corvain, Brandon Mitchell, who's also part of the team as well, seeing where we could be able to help those people that really needed the help and didn't know. And some of them don't know that they needed the help until they've experienced this, coming to a career conference. I mean, I've got so many stories I can share with you about individual people that I've seen transition. It almost brings like a tear in my eye. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe like this has happened to this person. Like coming from the very first career conference in Hawthorne and then seeing this person like, and it's very organic, like every 90 days I would run into her for some reason. And I didn't speak with her often. And she was in another role and just making her way up with that first company that she had interviewed with at our very first event. Yes.
So you
So
see a lot of that, like success rates.
oh my God, so many, and huge wins like that, I love to count, but I also love to count the small wins of we're at the Oakland Career Conference, and there is a gentleman wearing one of the prisoners' t-shirts that he had purchased online, and he wore it there to the event to represent this prisoner. And I thought, oh man, because that proceeds are going right back to that prisoner's commissary to kind of help offset his family's financial obligations to him, which was important, near and dear to my heart, because I was there at one point, right? So yeah, great stuff. I want to say I hope people just give it a chance, and even if you just come for a few hours, please do. I almost guarantee you will not regret that ride over or train over, however you get there, commute.
What is the ratio, out of curiosity, women to men, both for like cannabis incarceration and then with the reentry, like with the fairs, the conferences?
Oh, the ratio of men and women that attend, or?
Both, like more men are incarcerated for cannabis than women overall, right? Like far more.
Yes, but also I've also experienced women being incarcerated with their spouse or partner for the cannabis offense, right?
Yeah.
So ask me that again, sorry.
Well, at the conferences, what is it, predominantly men, or kind of what is there, because you mentioned your first case study was a woman, so
Yeah. I would probably say 60-40, Roni, 60 men, 40 women,
yeah.
And yeah, there's men that came with their children because they were a single dad, but they knew they needed this experience. They know they needed this job. And we kind of all just pitched in and helped and watched the baby as he was doing his interviews. It was really, really dope. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I applaud you for not letting the baby stop you from furthering yourself. And what can we do to help?
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Is there anything else you wanted to mention or share?
No, I don't think so. I hope you got a good one. I don't know.
I feel like we covered a lot. I guess I can ask what's next. Like you guys just keep growing and building and expanding. So where do you see the conference and the brand, say, in the next 5 years?
Oh my gosh. In the next 5 years, I see 40 tons careers, probably hitting almost every major city, both East and West Coast. So that'll be amazing to see the evolution. Bigger, better event spaces are to come, right? Bigger, better speakers and entertainment to come. And as far as what I see 40 tons, the brand accomplishing in the next 5 years, it's a lot. We are We are probably going to be in half of the states in about 5 years. That would be the ultimate goal. And slow and steady wins the race, and that's exactly where we're at. Always open to other licensing opportunities with other brands and collaborations because we're better, greater in numbers. So I just feel like sky's the limit, and no one can stop me but me, and I'm not stopping.
Love it. Well, we need you, and the system does too. And let's hope more people start, because there's so many problems and like it's overwhelming. You wonder how's it ever gonna. I guess as soon as people stop making money from prisons and prisoners, right?
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. The phone calls, the emails, the cost to connect the call, it's all of that, but I'm determined to continue doing my part, with the 40 Tons Foundation. Like I said, I'm going to help these children, right? So that Can of Christmas was geared toward children that had a parent or parents currently incarcerated or were incarcerated for nonviolent cannabis offense, because why should that little 5-year-old not have a Christmas because mommy or daddy, was selling marijuana, and, let me help these children. So I'm always thinking of the next accomplishment that I can do, and calling on my friends in the cannabis space has been very important to me, and I feel blessed that they you know feel the same way and willing to pull resources together to help. It's a small little thing, but it's huge, right?
Yeah. It's very inspiring. And I think that, everyone needs to understand that it is truly you have to just make those steps or nothing. It's like something or nothing, and it's kind of up to the people to do things, because like our government doesn't really do it right now.
Yes, I know. I know we can't change the laws, but we can definitely kind of work around them until they get changed. So, you may very well see me campaigning on the steps of the White House. Who knows?
L'Oreal for president. Hey, Mike Pence is running. He probably needs a good person against him.
Yeah, we did in California, we did have the governor, we called him Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I just think, hey, you're right, anything is possible.
We need more women, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, so we shall see. But this has been great. Thank you so much, Ronit, for taking the time to help us amplify our message and being a partner with us on this next career fair in Chicago.
Yeah, we are so excited for you guys, and we hope we can be there in person, but you will always have our support.
Awesome.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye. Say hi to the fam.
Will do. Bye-bye.